no good complaining, Dobbin. We're what's called a hinterlude. That means we have to plough this field all day long while they show black and white programmes. We know it's boring, but it's better than working on that potter's wheel.
BBC is showing classic films like The 39 Steps.
She said she's showing a programme about some steps. Silly. Hello?
Yes, yes, Paula. Marvellous. A whole day of classic programmes.
Are you a real operator? Yes. You sound young.
Yes. Are you going to show exciting programmes like Doctor Who and Quatermass and scary things like that? Scary
Programmes?
Yes.
Do Daleks scare you too as well?
They scare me a little bit, yes.
It must be very boring for you answering the phone all day when exciting programmes are on.
Yes.
Now, before we carry on, I'd like to tell you about the wonderful programmes we'll be bringing to you. At 12 o'clock, yes, 12 o'clock, there's the classic melodrama The Wicked Lady, starring James Mason and Margaret Lockwood, followed at 1:40 by the A to Z of light entertainment. Sorry, did you notice I jumped there? That's one of those unpredictable things that happen in television. Anyway, then we've got a pilot episode of Doctor Who, never before seen on television. Tonight at 7:30ish, you can see Wixie, Dirty Den and Lou Beale taking the part of the Grove family in a film about the first ever soap. Now I want you all not to switch over. Don't turn over to BBC1. It's only boring old colour. This is much better. I've been going back to 1960 with Professor Jimmy Edwards. So keep that button pressed. Don't adjust your sets. It's black and white. Hope you enjoy yourselves. Thank you very much.
What are you doing later? No, stop. What's your name?
Bye.
Do you want to go to
Bye.
pictures or have
But
a
I've
meal
got
or something?
boyfriend.
No, don't hang up on me. Hello?
Serves her right for travelling in a carriage alone. Well, first today. Come in.
Good morning, Headmaster.
Oh, the hell for?
The mail.
Oh, the mail. That's good. We'll just go through it, shall we? Bill. Income tax. Statement of account. Another bill. Wait a minute. There seems to be a check in this one.
Well, it might be Smith Minor's piano lessons his grandmother's paying, you know.
It's not one of those detergent coupons, I hope. Let's have a look at this. No. Yes. I won the pools.
What?
I won the football pools. I won £38,000 on the football pools. I'm rich. Oh. I'm rich. I won £38,000 on the football pools. I won the pools. Tell everybody. I won the pools. I must keep calm. I won them. Dear sir, we are happy. They're happy. Oh. We're happy to inform you that you have won first dividend on our triple chance pool. We enclose here with our cheque for £38,000. £38,000. Look at all those lovely noughts.
It's
Incredible. That's just what it is. You read about it happening to other people. When it happens to you, it takes your breath away. Do you know the most incredible part?
What?
I don't even do the pools.
Sit addressed to Oliver Pettigrew.
Pay Oliver Pettigrew. Oh. Whew. For a terrible moment, I thought I'd lost the money.
But you have, Headmaster. It isn't your money, it's Mr. Pettigrew's.
Comes to the same thing, doesn't it? You know very well he'd share his last farthing with me.
Well, yes.
Well, last farthing, first £38,000. What's the difference?
Well, look, let's ring him up and tell him the
No,
good news.
no, he'll be in a minute to take my tray. Let's give him the thrill of opening the envelope himself. Get the smelling salts.
Smelling salts?
Yeah, he'll keel over like a felled tree. And stand by to catch him, too. You know old Pettigrew, he gets heart palpitations playing rummy for wine guns. I think he'll be here in a minute. Act composed. Act composed. Don't let him see you. Come in, yeah.
Good morning, Headmaster. Nice breakfast.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Halliford.
Morning, Mr. Pettigrew.
There's a bit of a nip in the air this morning. Had the post come?
Yes, there was one letter for you. I opened it by mistake.
Oh, thank you, Headmaster. Well, isn't that nice? Well, I'll just wash these things up.
But you... Shh, the penny hasn't dropped yet. Wait. It's dropped. You're right. Oh, pull yourself together. I've been feeding you warm, sweet tea since 8:30 this morning. We can't go on treating you for shock indefinitely.
Could I have another tranquilizer?
That's 3 family-sized bottles you've had already today. You can't have any more. Honestly, you're up to the bilges with warm, sweet tea. Your whole rattling with blue pills. Goodness knows what would have happened if it had been bad news.
But, Headmaster, you don't seem to grasp. To me, this is bad news.
Oh, don't be so ridiculous.
I never did the pools with any thought of winning.
Well, why did you do them?
Well, it all started when they sent me a printed letter asking me to. There was a photograph of the managing director on top. Such a kindly-looking man with twinkling eyes.
Twinkling eyes? His eyes have got every right to twinkle. He owns half Liverpool.
Well, the letter was a personal plea to me to join what he called the happy circle. It would have been churlish to refuse. But now, oh dear.
Stop bobbling.
But to win £38,000.
Don't keep saying it as though it was a hardship.
Well, it all depends how you view this sort of thing.
There's only one way you can view this sort of thing. Through an alcoholic haze. The quicker we get started, the better. Now, come on, Peppers. Come on, my golden boy. Snap out of it. Begone, dull care. We must start thinking how we're going to spend your money, mustn't we?
Headmaster.
Yes.
I've decided how I'm going to spend it.
Good boy. What's it going to be, then? A villa in Portofino? A luxury cruise in the Caribbean? Basking on the sun-kissed sands by the palm-fringed lagoon? Your tousled head resting on someone's golden thigh?
None of those things.
Oh, you old devil. What have you thought of that I haven't thought of? I'm ready for any excess. Name your pleasure.
Headmaster, I'm going to give it all to charity.
Charity? Who's she?
The whole £38,000 will be donated to a worthy cause. Headmaster, why are you looking at me like that?
No. I've never heard anything so immoral in all my life. Give the whole £38,000 away.
Now, believe me, Headmaster, it's the only thing to do with wealth of this kind. I haven't earned it. I don't deserve it. And if I were to spend it on selfish pleasures when... No, I couldn't. I couldn't. I've got to live with myself.
With a bank balance like that, you can live with anybody.
No, Headmaster, my mind is made up. I shall get in touch with the FFFF.
FFFF, what's that?
That's the Four-Footed Friends Fund. They look after all the sick and poorly pets.
Look, it's a leg pull, isn't it? You're having old Jim on a piece of string, aren't you? Say you are, please.
No, Headmaster, I'm giving it all to our four-footed friends.
£38,000 can only happen once in a lifetime. He's giving it all away. Oh.
Headmaster, you're trembling.
Yeah, oh, that villa. Oh, that cruise. Oh, that bird on the beach.
Oh, yes, it's all here in the newspaper. Interviewed at his office, the Reverend Barnfield Monroe, secretary of the Four-Footed Friends Fund, was jubilant. Mr. Oliver Pettigrew's selfless generosity, he declared, shines forth in a materialistic world like a...
Like a what?
It says here, like a bacon. I suppose it's a misprint for beacon.
Oh, yes. It goes on. Arrangements have been made for balding 48-year-old Oliver Pettigrew to present the cheque officially to the Reverend Monroe tomorrow at London's glossy Ritz-Carlton Hotel.
If only the headmaster had won this money. Oh, admittedly, we'd be up to here in empty bottles by now, but it would have been worth it. You know how generous he gets when he's jugged up.
Yes, it's a sort of maudlin open-handedness. Yes, at the old boy's dinner, he ended up on the balcony scattering coins to the poor of the parish.
It's quite true. I got 4 ninepence.
The only hope now, all we can hope is that Pettigrew will respond to this new scheme of the heads.
What's that?
Psychological warfare.
Oh, is that his heel, really?
Coercion!
No, I won't have any more.
Oh, look out, here he is.
I was kept by that lower third again.
Oh, right. This is where we start the treatment.
Really, they are pickles, those little boys. They've been playing me up in the most dreadful way today. You know, I cannot convince those boys that even in the most beautiful of Shakespeare's passages, there are certain words that cannot be discussed until they get into the upper fifth. Is there any coffee left? Oh, dear. No, it's, You know, young Fenner said rather a funny thing when I reprimanded him for snoring in class today. He said...
Oh, that wind, and I'll catch you round the cloisters. That's all right. An easterly one, I think. Any coffee left?
I'm afraid it's finished, Headmaster.
Oh, yes, Headmaster. I saved some specially for latecomers.
Thank you. Well. Mr. Pettigrew, I've just been reading your press notices. How is Chiselbury's shining bacon?
I think you're all being dreadfully unfair. After all, you're all teachers. You should realize better than most people that a man must do what he knows to be right.
That's the point. You don't know.
That's why we're all so fed up with you.
What do you mean?
Well, you say it's all right to give this money away to charity instead of spending it on pleasures. How can you be sure of that? You've never had any pleasures.
But I have, Headmaster. Those weekends at Frinton with Auntie. My Max Jaffa records. The annual fur and feather fete.
That's a right catalogue of debauchery, that is. You can count me out of that lot. I mean the real pleasures, wine, women, and song. Why, you've never drunk, you've never sung, you've never... anything.
I've never missed those things.
Because you've never had them. Here you are making this great noble gesture of renouncing the flesh pots. You wouldn't know a flesh pot if one came up and bit you.
What difference does that make?
Tell him, fellas.
Supposing one day you were to get a taste for the good thing.
Oh,
How do you know you wouldn't find you like them?
Oh, I wouldn't.
Oh, but you might.
And what then?
A lifetime of regret.
Of all the words of tongue and pen, the saddest are it might have been.
It doesn't rhyme, but the sentiment is right. Now, look here, Oliver Pettigrew, I put it to you. Is it right to give away this lolly before you've sampled its pleasures?
Well, I do see your point, Headmaster, but I don't see how I can sample them. I've only got until tomorrow.
Exactly.
Oh, what's all this? Where am I going?
We are going to London's glossy Ritz-Carlton Hotel. I booked the penthouse suite.
What for?
One sample basin full of the flesh pots. Just one evening, one glimpse of what life might be. Music, laughter, elegance, and females who don't smell of chalk.
If you don't like it, you can give away the money tomorrow.
Yes, exactly. What do you say?
Well, all right. Only let me just go and say goodbye to Cheeky.
Oh, dear. Fancy going to say goodbye to his golden hamster. He can afford a platinum one now. Oh, dear. I do hope it works, gentlemen, but I got a nasty feeling we're 20 years too late. I'll have the bigger flower, if I may.
Voilà, monsieur.
Thank you, my pretty.
Shall I put this one in your friend's jacket or with you?
I'll do it. No, you do it. Hurry up, Petters, the party's warming up already.
There, monsieur. I hope my pins are long enough for you.
I see nothing to make a complaint about there. Here, buy yourself something deliciously frilly.
Oh, thank you, monsieur.
Come off it, September morn. She's gone now. Have you fixed that tie?
I don't seem to be able to get it right, Headmaster.
Of course you never will if you won't let go of that.
I'm not going to let go of a case containing £38,000. I ought never to have let you persuade me to change it into £5 notes.
We changed it into fivers for a very good reason. Tuck your shirt in.
Oh, good gracious. Oh, Headmaster.
I want you to get used to the look of your loot. Get used to the feel of it.
Oh, dear. It frightens me.
The smell of it. Oh, the music of it. Listen to that. The music of the fivers. Rhapsody in blue. Bestrew them around you. Stuff your pockets full of them wherever you go. And me too, yeah. Feel yourself bulging at all points with purchasing power. Now then, get yourself outside this.
Oh, what is it?
£4 a bottle. Mum's 98. She doesn't look a day over 60. Who cares?
Headmaster.
Oliver Pettigrew, this is your life.
Is this the stuff that we had at the station buffet?
No, this is grown-up sham.
Oh.
Grown-up sham with a giggle in every bubble. Sluice it down. This'll be the grub, but come on.
Oh, it's rather nice. Thank you.
Just strew it around, gentlemen. We'll just pick at it at our leisure. Give the man something.
Oh, yes, of course.
Not that. Think big. Oh. Go on, one or two of those.
Thank you, my lord. Why did he call me my lord?
Because you are a lord. You're eating like a lord, you're drinking, you're living like a lord. In the eyes of the world, you're somebody.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yes, I suppose I am.
Drink up. Feel the bubbles go up your hooter?
Yes.
Now, let's have a dab at the food, shall we? See this?
Oh, what is it?
Know where that comes from?
No.
Moscow. Caviar. Beluga. £3 a teaspoonful.
Oh, fish.
I shall not allow my fool's wind to change my way of life. Not much. Here, help yourself to an Onassis sandwich.
Oh, Headmaster.
Funny shape.
Yes. I don't see how we're ever going to get through all this.
Not on our own, we never will. Oh. We're having company.
Company?
Female company.
Female?
Mm.
Oh, dear.
That'll be them. I'll let the girls in. Darling!
Darling!
My goodness. Sonia! We meet again. Marla, bless you. Maxine! Ninette, and Nadia, and, Oliver, I want you to meet the girls of the Ritz-Carlton Follies, girls. I'm throwing him among you. Oliver!
Oh, good gracious, how do you do? Headmaster, there seem to be 6 of them.
Of course there are 6 of them. 3 each. One on, one off, and one in the wash. This is the way to live, isn't it, eh? Wine, women, and song. Enjoy yourself.
Forbes, it's 4 o'clock in the morning.
4 o'clock? No word from the head? Hello? Chiselby Exchange? Oh, I'm sorry to get you out of a warm bed, Flossie, but has anybody been trying to phone us from London's glossy Ritz-Carlton Hotel? Thank you.
Have the Zeppelins passed over yet? Oh, looks as though the scheme's failed.
I'm afraid Pettigrew's too set in his ways to change his outlook. But the headmaster said he'd phone us one way or the other.
He's probably too miserable even to talk. Poor old Jim.
Now then, everybody join in while Petters does the samba.
That's me.
So, that appointment with the Reverend Gentleman at 11 o'clock.
Cancel it. I'm keeping all our money. I know what to spend it on now.
He does.
Come along, my dear. Let's go and have some lobster.
It's worked. Ours. Mine.
Jim, there's no more champagne left.
Order another dozen crates. This party's only just beginning. Everybody, come on, join in the conga.
The conga? I don't know how to do the conga.
Whoa! Hooray! Hooray!
They should be here.
I say, isn't this marvelous?
I say, just feel these carpets. They're thicker than the beds at school.
Awfully quiet in there.
Headmaster, are you in there?
Why don't you sound a buzzer?
Oh, Mr. Headmaster, wake up! Doesn't seem to be anybody in there.
Well, he hasn't left the hotel. The receptionist said so.
You sure it's locked?
Oh, don't be silly, of course it's... Oh.
Oh! Oh! Oh, monsieur! Oh là là!
Headmaster?
Well, where is he?
Look. Headmaster, Headmaster, wake up.
No, Maxine, I can't dance anymore. Oh, my head. Oh,
It's all right, Headmaster. We'll get you onto the settee.
all right. I don't need any help.
Oh.
Oh, I'm bad. Oh, I'm real
What
bad.
happened, Headmaster? We didn't hear from you.
You've obviously had quite a party.
Party. Oh, party. Oh, there's been nothing like it since the fall of Babylon.
Yes, but what about Pettigrew?
Pettigrew, he took to it like a duck takes to water. Talk about the playboy of the Western world.
Oh, so he's keeping the money.
Keeping the money, he wouldn't part with his money for anything.
Oh, how splendid.
We'll have to break the news to that poor clergyman from the FFFFFFF. What's the time?
It's about 10:30.
He'll be here in half an hour. The appointment was for 11 o'clock Thursday morning. What's the matter then?
Today's Friday.
Oh, no. Oh, dear. Oh, no wonder I feel bad. What happened to Thursday, then?
Well, can't you remember?
Remember, there's just sort of blurred patches like a Picasso painting in my head.
Do you mean to say that the party went on all through yesterday as well?
Keep your voice down, please. Oh, yes, I suppose it must have done. Yes, I remember it was yesterday morning we ordered the aeroplane.
Aeroplane?
Pettigrew wanted to do some skywriting. Some Shakespearean word that he wanted across the sky. He had to go up 3 times. He couldn't spell it. Oh, he's really taken to this sort of life. I'll never keep pace with him.
Excuse me.
Is that thunder?
Excuse me. You remember me, Professor Edwards? Reverend Barnfield Munro?
Reverend Barton Munro, I'm so sorry. I must apologize for Pettigrew missing his appointment yesterday morning.
But you've already apologized for that.
I have?
When we met last night.
We met?
Why, don't you remember? There was nobody here when I called for my morning appointment. I kept telephoning Mr. Pettigrew all day. It wasn't until rather late last night that I found you in.
This is almost a little bit of blank. I'm a little bit not with it this morning, Reverend. I'll just have a short snort. You know, you get this sort of trouble occasionally. It's just a touch of my old trouble.
Yes, you were swaying a little when we spoke last night.
Oh, is that-
Well, of course, if you're not feeling well, I wouldn't dream of staying. I just say thank you again for your generosity and wish you better.
Thank you very much. Thank me again for what generosity?
Well, don't you remember? Last night, after you'd explained to me that Mr. Pettigrew had changed his mind about the donation, you were kind enough to listen while I outlined to you some of the heartbreaking causes that the fund tries to help.
Then what happened?
Great tears rolled down your cheeks, sir. If Mr. Pettigrew won't help you with a donation, you said, I will.
Oh, no.
You've done it again. Always when he's jugged up. With a gesture that I shall never forget, you thrust into my hands a suitcase brimming with £5 notes.
The lot!
We'll never forget you, sir. Goodbye.
If I don't know this would happen, Headmaster, I need to control yourself. Again, I need to say.
Hello there. What ho, chaps?
Pettigrew.
What's up?
Sit.
Oh, but Headmaster, I've just bought 6 polo ponies.
Get on to room service.
And the girls are waiting for us at Windsor Great Park. You know where the polo is.
I've got something I want to tell you.
Oh, yes.
Room service. We send up 4 large family-sized bottles of tranquilizers and 12 pots of warm, sweet tea. Thank you. Be brave.
Oh,
Take this like a man.
Headmaster.
No, that lovely money of yours.
Yes, indeed.
I've given it to the FFFF.
Coming up on the stand side, it's Ploughman 1, followed by Ploughman 2, gaining ground rapidly. But with 5 acres to go, there's about a furlong between them. And at this stage, it's anyone's race. And so I now hand you over to Jimmy. Jimmy.
Well, I hope you enjoyed my program. It was good, wasn't it? Now, let's have a look at what else is going on today. Not much here or there. Now, this is very interesting. In a moment, we can see the classic Gainsborough melodrama, The Wicked Lady, starring James Mason and Margaret Lockwood. Anybody heard of them? Anybody? Anybody? It's a classic. Ah, look, there she is over there. Gooey, Wicked Lady. There she is, yes. Very wicked indeed. Look over here. Picture of wickedness, by the way. Yes, I love the hat here. Yes. Now, what else have we got? Dixon of Dock Green, Doctor Who, nothing very wicked there. The trouble with doing these trailers is they make your neck really stiff. Now, I don't know where I am. I've just done that one. Anyway, there's no point in trailing anymore. You've just got to sit there and watch everything because there's no point in going out today. The traffic's terrible. Meanwhile, I'm going to have my medicine, which is very wicked indeed, and I have 2 of these 3 times an hour, and this one's for me, and the other one's for the Wicked Lady.
There. That's one of those unpredictable things that happen in television. Anyway, then we've got a pilot episode of Doctor Who, never before seen on television. Tonight at 7:30ish, you can see Wixie, Dirty Den and Lou Beale taking the part of the Grove family in a film about the first ever soap. Now I want you all not to switch over. Don't turn over to BBC1. It's only boring old colour. This is much better, and we're going back to 1960 with Professor Jimmy Edwards. So keep that button pressed. Don't adjust your sets. It's black and white. Hope you enjoy yourselves. Thank you very much.
What are you doing later? No, stop. What's your name?
Bye.
Do you want to go for
Bye.
pizzas or have
But
a
I
meal
have
or something?
boyfriend.
No, don't hang up on me. Hello?
It's no good complaining, Dobbin. We're what's called a hinterlude. That means we have to play this field all day long while they show black and white programmes. We know it's boring, but it's better than working on that potter's wheel.
BBC is showing classic films like The 39 Steps.
She said she's showing a program about some steps. It's silly. Hello?
Yes, that's all right. Holiday classic program.
Are you a real operator? Yes. You sound young.
Yes. Are you going to show...
Serves her right for travelling in a carriage alone. Well, first today...
exciting programmes like Doctor Who and Quatermass and scary things like that. Scary
programs.
Yes.
Do Daleks scare you too as well?
They scare me a little bit, yes.
It must be very boring for you answering the phone all day when exciting programs are on.
Yes.
Now, before we carry on, I'd like to tell you about the wonderful programmes we'll be bringing to you. At 12 o'clock, yes, 12 o'clock, there's the classic melodrama The Wicked Lady, starring James Mason and Margaret Lockwood, followed at 1:40 by the A to Z of light entertainment. Sorry, did you notice I